www.thecable.net. Get your Platinum Loyalty Card today because you deserve Platinum. Terms and conditions apply.
Good morning. Welcome to this edition of Frank and Candid for this Monday morning, start of a brand new week. It is July 26th. Hope you had a great weekend, all set for a productive week. And you should make it even more productive because as we go through this week, our eyes will be on the weekend coming up. It is going to be a long weekend, and it has some significance, which we'll talk about today and throughout this week. It is for some would say the August weekend, some would say the Culturama weekend, some would say the Christina weekend, some would say it's August Monday, but significantly it is Emancipation Day on Sunday, and we'll enjoy a holiday on Monday for that, and Culturama Day on Tuesday. So we got a long weekend ahead, and we will talk about some of that this morning. Let's go in the news. St. Lucians, they are going to the poll today in what is expected to be a close race. 45 candidates are vying for 17 seats in the House of Assembly. The UWP at the last election took 11, and the St. Lucia Labour Party took 6. So number of posters are saying that this is going to be a close one. So we will monitor that later on this evening and see what happens in St. Lucia. And here at home, Lower Share Lane has been identified for vendors, and it's a decision that has been made. And as we speak, they are going to be doing some work there, and some of that work includes a mobile restroom, water connection, and electricity. That work is to be done this week, and the expectation is that that site will be ready for occupation next week. So Share Lane identified officially as a vendor site. So keep that in mind. All right. This week, as I said, our discussions are going to center around this weekend coming up and what it means for us. Some of us may want to talk about it about Culturama, and we must also remember that August 1st we did experience a tragic event here in the Federation in St. Kitts and Nevis, and also as a Caribbean people, African descendants, it is Emancipation Day on Sunday as well. So we're going to put some focus on that, especially throughout this week as we make it down to the weekend. Quickly on the Christina disaster, from year after year, the observance, ceremonies, services, all of that are held in Nevis, non-stop, year after year. In Nevis, there are 2 actual monuments, one on Hunkins Drive and one up at the cemetery, 2. And for years, there's been none on St. Kitts. And we always talk about that from time to time. Why is there no monument on St. Kitts for the Christina disaster? Well, it is my understanding that that is about to change. I don't think that it'll be ready. At least I don't think so. Could be. I don't think it will be ready for this Sunday, but one is in the works. Construction is ongoing right now to finally get us a monument on St. Kitts. The loss of lives on that day included both our citizens from St. Kitts and Nevis. And so it is fitting that we on this side as well get a monument to that. All right, so we'll talk more about that. Culturama is coming up, and that is something that we could talk about during the week as well. We will have, I expect that I would have guests joining me this week to talk about Emancipation Day, and we'll update you as we go along as to how that will play out. But today, let's focus on Emancipation Day and what it means. When we talk about emancipation, if you take a dictionary definition, it would mean freedom from captivity, or freedom from or liberation, however you want to put that. The question is, though, I want to take it from this point. The question is that we have always been asking is whether or not we as a people are actually emancipated. It is a significant day, and most people don't even remember the day, to be honest with you. Some people didn't even realize this was a holiday coming up, but that may be because of our busy schedule these days, and maybe later in the week you'll realize, oh, it's a holiday weekend. But Emancipation Day as it is, sometimes people don't even remember that. But it is significant for our people because of what happened in, well, we say 1834, but then we had a period between 1834 and 1838 that there really was no freedom as such, but the status quo kind of remained, but so 1838. Anyway, so most people don't really remember that. And it so happens, for example, we have to put the responsibility and the blame on a lot of people, so there's enough to go around. The government, private sector businesses, the media. I am here on this media house, putting it out, talking about it. But in many parts of our society, these things go untouched. Don't even remember them. It so happens that August 1st will be a Sunday, Sunday coming up. And most of the churches are back in physical service. And I wonder how many of the churches would add this into their message come Sunday. And it would be nice to acknowledge it and share some thoughts with your congregation, just like I believe governments and so on should get into the habit of remembering these occasions, and just like private sector businesses, media houses, etc., and do and say things to keep the awareness and talk about what it means for us, this Emancipation Day. The question is, though, when we talk about emancipation and Emancipation Day, are we as a people really emancipated? Are we really liberated? Yes, it is true that there are no chains anymore that bound us to any plantation. There are no whips making us work. So the physical chains are gone. But sometimes when we look at our people and how we relate to one another, and how we relate generally, our minds, our thinking, you kind of wonder whether or not they're not still change around our minds. Some artists talk about liberating your mind and all of that. No one but ourselves can free ourselves, free our minds. But, I always wonder when I look at the behaviors and the attitudes of our own people, whether or not there's truly an emancipation other than the emancipation in terms of the physical chains. But have we really liberated or emancipated our minds? Because we still behave in a certain way, as if we are still enslaved, mental slavery. And for example, believe it or not, there was still, for many, many years, people still have certain thoughts about the color of your skin, even within the same race, because we are of different shades then of black. And you find you have some people who want to be the lighter shade, and people spend a lot of time trying to make themselves a lighter shade of black. That's come from the mental. We believe beauty is in a lighter shade, for example, and there is that built-in discrimination which comes out of that whole period a long time ago, and we still carry it on today. Our people don't get together and for economic reasons, because somehow there is a built-in distrust among our own people. And so all of these things, and there's several other examples, but as you look at these things, you wonder to yourself, are we really emancipated in terms of our minds and so on? So that's the question. Are we, as we talk about Emancipation Day, are we, when we look inside ourselves, are we as a people, are we really liberated? Are we really emancipated? And those are some of the things we're going to talk about during the week. We're going to talk about the economics of our people. I have a guest tomorrow, actually, who will get into some of that discussion on the economics and things that we, as a people, locally, can do to improve our own economic situation as a people. So, that's the question I'm throwing out as we talk about Emancipation Day. What does it mean to you? What are your plans? Do we believe that these are things that the education system should have in there? I guarantee you, many of the students in our schools do not really know what this Sunday is about. It's a holiday. It's extra partying. And so, do they really know what it's about and why it's there? Probably not. But what can we do to change that situation? What can we do to change ourselves as a people? So, there you have it. We will get to your observations, your comments on the subject right after we take a quick break. I'll give you the numbers now: 465-2555, 718-577-2916. Those are the numbers to call when we come back on the other side of this break.
It's only just a phase. Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gon' be safe. Everybody gon' be safe. One kind, yeah. One people. We are all up to roll out. Cause no man's alone, do what's right. Cause I love you, brother, my sister. And we're in this together, my sister, my brother. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah, yeah. It's better for us, yeah. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy to roll out.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
Win $10,000 cash with Coca-Cola. Yes, you could be the lucky winner of $10,000 cash when you enjoy a 591 ml Coca-Cola Original Taste or 591 ml Sprite. Look under the special yellow cap to find your unique code. Promotion runs May 21st to August 13th. Terms and conditions apply. See press and in stores for details. Coca-Cola, open for better. Please follow all COVID-19 protocols when redeeming prizes.
All right, welcome back to Frank and Candid. Monday morning, I am Tony Nass, and our conversation this week actually is going to center around emancipation and Emancipation Day coming up this weekend. So we will go to the phones and hear from you. Say good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid. Good morning, you're live.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Nair.
Good morning.
I must admit that the Emancipation Day celebration came on me, and when I showed out, I asked you a question if you were familiar with a document, a book, a traditional oral book by the Jewish people. You weren't quite familiar, but emancipation fits into what I'm going to say. And also, why should we be emancipated? It is ordained that we be perpetual slaves to the other two brothers of Noah, other two sons of Noah. We being, according to what I'm going to read, we being the children of Ham. We're supposed to serve Shem and Japheth for the rest of our lives. Be it as the chains are released, we put the chains elsewhere, like on our minds today. And this is where I'm going to talk about the Talmud, Talmud. It's a Jewish tradition that says and describes our physical phenotype, why our hair is kinky. Lo and behold, our hair is where the judges sit in the courthouse and make decisions. If they don't have on that sort of thing on their head, they cannot dispense judgment. But the Talmud is what gives, from passing on to the Jewish people who went to Europe, to the Europeans, the authorization to have us as perpetual slaves. Yes, if you were to get that document and read it, it will say that. And this is what has been perpetuated to this day. So why should we be emancipated? We're not going to be emancipated unless we know what our situation is and want to be emancipated collectively, because it's going to be taken off like it has been off the feet and the hands and be put elsewhere, so that you'll be always be a servitude to these people according to their tradition. We are supposed to be the children of Ham. They are the children of Japheth and the children of Shem, so they have all right to do what they want to do with us, because we were perpetually cursed, and that is my story. I just want to read one thing before I leave. This is from Mein Kampf. It's a story written by Adolf Hitler, and why he would have justified what he did to the Jewish people and black people alike. And I'm going to quote, the black hair Jewish youth lies in wait for hours on end, satanically glaring at and spying on the unsuspicious girl whom he plans to seduce, adulterating her blood and removing her from the bosom of her own people. The Jew used every means to undermine the racial foundation of a subjugated people. The Jews were responsible for bringing Negroes into Rhineland with the ultimate idea of bastardizing the white race, which they hate, and thus lowering its cultural and political value level so the Jews might dominate. That's Hitler.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
The very same Jewish people that gave the Europeans this idea about us, Hitler accused them for bringing the Negroes into the space of the European people, specifically Germany.
All right, thank you. Let's go back to the phones here. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good morning, Brother Tony.
Good morning.
Brother Tony, I believe that black people have known enough and known enough and are known long enough to know what emancipation is all about. Even Bob Marley come out in his songs and tell us, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. You understand? And with emancipation, they're coming up. And, you know, these things that we know and we always hear about. And people will always look at, people, whether you're black, you're white, you're pink, you're yellow, you will always believe the history you want to believe, you know. You understand, Tony? So I just want to see black people come together as one and do the right thing. And I don't know when it's going to be done. I don't know when we're going to get it done. But Tony, let me move on from that. Now, Tony, I want to commend this unity government where we elect. I believe this government has listened to people cry from since they got into government. Tony, we know we're in a serious pandemic. You know the whole situation. And you know that we got to go to the protocol with our masks and do everything in the way when we're going anywhere, or going in any supermarket, or we doing any business, or any business place to do what we got to do. To go to stick to the protocol, even for a passenger bus. And the country locked down for 2 times now. Because of the spread of the pandemic. We get community spread. And we have to lock down for a month. And Tony, people went out on social media saying all kind of negative things, that people hungry, people this, people that, people trying to practice the business and all kind of things. But Tony, I'm glad the government come up with the idea that people could be off the road in blocking up pedestrians and all those things. And we got a caring, taking government who looking out for the ordinary man and woman. Tony, when I hear that you just read out there that Law Charlene will be the place for the food vendors, Tony, I feel good in my heart. Because I say it so all the time. Because people from the people from bank, people who work with the government, people who work in all the business institutions in town, even in the stores, go there and get them lunch, and the black pudding, the goat water, anything they want locally, they go and they get there. And I see this government is the one who looking after the man and woman in this country. They listen to the people.
Okay.
And I so commend them to listen to people, Tony. Tony, let somebody get a chance, no problem.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Yeah, that's it?
You're live. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Nice, good morning. I didn't realize that was my time up.
Yes.
Yes, about emancipation. This is Journey here. You know, Mr. Nice, the topic of emancipation, it all begins with the knowledge of self. Until we know who we are, we will never be emancipated. And the knowledge of self can only come from within us. Now, I mentioned something on your program maybe a week or so ago, and I don't want to be repetitive, but just let me say this. When we're talking about emancipation, we have to understand we're talking about person, people, place, or things. And I mentioned that the suffix or the prefix is the word of the person, people, place, or things, and where it all began. Now, today, we have the Bible. The question we need to ask ourselves is, who wrote the Bible? And if we are going to go to the person, people, place, or things, and the suffix and the prefix, when we came into contact with our Creator, the Most High, that form of communication, it was not in English. The colonizers gave us what they gave us today, and that's why we are seeing everything that we are seeing on television is whiteness. That is by design. But you know something, Tony? The truth is available now. It's up for us to now search and find our truth. Because like I said before, what they're giving us is they're trying to maintain their grip on us to keep us in their narrative, their misery, because that's what it is. Until we unplug from this narrative and their misery that they have placed upon us, from the continent of Africa to the diaspora, everywhere where black melanated people are, those colonizers are trying to hold a grip on us. They're being placing viruses on our people. Today we have coronavirus. Is it any wonder for us to question that these same people who try to destroy us, who have been destroying us, can create a virus and now come to give us a cure? I heard a clip with Mr. Farrakhan says, and I'm just paraphrasing, that the creatures know who we are, they know the time is up, and instead of they going out quietly, they're going to try and take down as much as they can. This is the coronavirus that they place upon us. Another thing, Tony, and I'm going to finish up now because I know calls are important. We talk about God. Who is God or what is God? African spirituality is a dynamic expression of God itself. You have to realize that nature is a manifestation of God to the cosmos. Not originated from God, but it is God. Nature is in essence divinity itself. Only African spirituality shows so much reverence to nature. Tony, you go to New York is a concrete jungle. You go to Europe is a concrete jungle. The West is a concrete jungle. We have to communicate with the planet because the earth is alive. We have to get permission when we want to build, where and how we want to build. We cannot suffocate the earth. I mentioned something on social media. This is my own thing that I throw out pertaining to the flooding in Western Germany, Poland, and in China. Mr. Nice, you heard me mention before that China is the Trojan horse on the continent of Africa and even in the diaspora. China today is trying to colonize the continent of Africa in a more acceptable, subtle way than the colonizers did. China is flooded today. Western Germany is flooded. Poland is flooded. Now, are we to say that this flooding is climate change? For me, I would say no. And I would call on every black man, woman, and child. The knowledge of self, knowing who you are, reconnect with your ancestors and the Most High. Because, Mr. Noyes, we don't have any shots to fire. We have no military defense. Nature will fight our war for us. That is for you, me, everyone who is hearing my voice now. Because Africa doesn't manufacture no military defense. And all the design that they place on the continent of Africa
You see how they've been killing our president, even close right down here into the Caribbean. And then they come and play with words and tell us, you hear presidents say that they condemn the assassination of this president and that assassination attempt on, and these are just words. We have to look beyond this now. You and I have to wake up and call on our ancestors because we cannot beat them militarily.
Okay.
Nature is going to take care of them. Thank you for taking my call.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is my opinion. Men studying about Africa, Nigeria, white man and black man and all kind of thing. My problem here is in thinking. I want to get over this hurdle here, that we could get back and everybody get back to work and work like a human being and get a weekly salary and monthly salary and continue the business. What I want to know directly, if those people who get in free tires on the bus and free brake pad and free gasoline and who get in the $1,000 and the $500, I want to know if the government got the heart to give them and they're not vaccinated. If they make any sense to you, I don't see a man running a bus not vaccinated and carrying people. That's the only way they could entitle to that $500, that 4 tires, that 5 tires and all them kind of things, if they're fully vaccinated. Government can't take up money and give it to them, and they just don't want to cooperate and go along with the government with the laws and things of the country. You see what happening in Antigua and Grenada? The laws them come down heavy. So who don't want it to be like that, find another country to live? You understand me? This agreement that when you have a government to protect the people, you can't protect someone unless some get to hamper the other some. The law is the law. The rules is the rules. You have to get a driver's license to drive. You have to get an insurance in order to run the vehicle. And it goes on and on. So let's do something. I can't see the government taking up money to give a bus driver and he's not vaccinated. And I can't see the government taking up money to give any one of them and they're not vaccinated. You are encouraging them in the ignorance. You understand me? Because somewhere along the line, you see what happened in the States? All the Republican governors, them begging people out to vaccinate it because they were listening to stupid Donald Trump. You know? Okay, Tony, that's my input.
Okay, thank you for thank you for your input. You just leave out a part of that whole thing there, the free thing. Duty free, you left out the duty free. All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah, Garvey and Queen and Zing. God bless them, my beloved African. But how are you, the family?
All doing well. How about you?
Good, brother, and the clan is good. Now, brother, before getting into it, let me just read this by the most honorable Messiah Garvey, beloved. This is what the most honorable Messiah Garvey said about emancipation. You know. We are going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, because while others might free the body, none but ourselves can free the minds, beloved. And that's where Bob Marley get that song, Redemption Song. That's what the words of the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, one of the greatest Africans of all times, beloved, and the father of Pan-Africanism. Sorry. The king of Pan-Africanism, because that was others before the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey was espousing Pan-Africanism. He's not the father. Sorry about that. Don't want to mislead anybody, but he's the king of Pan-Africanism. No, my beloved brother. But see, problem I have with a lot of our people, beloved. Try teaching them, beloved. They don't want to hear. When you come in, oh, me not African, me not born in Africa. What does that got to do whether you're born in Africa or what? A lot of us wasn't born in Africa, but African is born in us. And we are Africans. You hear them, oh, me a Kittian, me a Nivision, me a Jamaican, me a Antiguan, me a Barbudan, et al. I have no problem, beloved brother, to love in your land of your birth. No problem. And be patriotic. 1,000,000%, beloved brother. But we all are Africans first and foremost. Regardless of where we were born, we are Africans to the bone. And it's full time. Beloved brother, our people stop it, this nonsense. Especially people who know better and espouse the nonsensical thing all the time, beloved. But, you know, this is we're going to return to and move on to greater things, beloved, and what our ancestors left for us. And we dropped the ball. Some of us, not the whole lot. Some Africans dropped the ball, beloved. But we need unity. We ain't going to get 100%. At least, beloved, 75%. That will be good for us, beloved. Start with that. Change your thing. And we must not refer to ourselves as quote-unquote black people. You ain't got no land named black land. You got a continent, the second largest continent, named Africa, beloved. The only time you're supposed to use the word black is our skin color or pigment, whatever you want to say. And we should wear it with a badge of honor, our black skin. But our Africanness come first and foremost. You must get unity, beloved. If you ain't got unity, you ain't gonna get anything else, because no kind of money, beloved. I'm not against money, but no kind of money, like African Stalin say, beloved, could form the unity. First of all, the people need their own identity. Got to know who we are, where we came from, where we stand, and where we're going, beloved. And you see, I'm going to say this too, beloved. One of the major problems, like the brother Brett, yeah, that's his name, yeah. The Pan-Africanist young brother. Like you say, you agree with most of the things you say. 99% of the things, beloved. You know, we got to, if somebody don't teach you right, never treat you right, put you in slavery hundreds of years, colonialize you after that, beloved, and do all kind of things, they're going to deal with you in a fair way. That will never happen. I seek no unity with no other race of people. I got to seek unity and make sure that come in the collective with African peoples first and foremost. I ain't no integrationist. I'm a Pan-Africanist. And that's the only thing going to save us, beloved. And we must stop, let me say to the African men, them who run around with other women and them things, stop dilute the race, man. Stick with the African woman. If one African woman deal with you in a kind of way and vice versa, get the next queen, or the sister get the next king. Got to stop dilute the race and confuse the children, them, beloved. All of that, but I know some people don't like to hear that, but they're going to hear it, beloved. I don't come on this thing and tell no lies, and I wouldn't defame anyone, but I'm going to speak the truth at all times. And Pan-Africanism going to be my mantra, beloved brother. Pan-Africanism yesterday, Pan-Africanism today, Pan-Africanism forever. Who don't like it, it's their problem, not mine. I don't have time for, sellouts, slaves.
Right.
No, I don't have time for that. I have time to help my beloved sisters and brothers to reach to their pinnacle where they think Pan-Africanism as their philosophy, do the right thing to their sisters and brothers, and we must love each other at all times. But I am not. Let me repeat.
All right.
Not.
Yep.
What you said?
Go ahead, finish that, wrap up.
Okay, yeah, finishing up now. I'm not united with no traitors of the African race. Never will, beloved. I am a Pan-Africanist, and I'm going to espouse Pan-Africanism until the day I make my transition. Thanks again for hearing me. My beloved brother, Pan-Africanism our perish. One love.
One love. All right. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Yeah, I can ask a question. I don't know if anyone asked it already because I moved away from the line for a while. We're accustomed to the Tuesday holiday from the culture of my Nevis.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you know or if you can find out if there will be a holiday next week Tuesday.
Yes, there will be.
If there will be a holiday next week Tuesday,
Yes,
if you don't know, if you can try and find out.
Yes, there will be.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. See, the guy wants to know how long his weekend will be, eh? Okay. All right. The rest of us want to talk about emancipation. He wants to talk about how long his weekend will be. Well, my understanding is we still will get that, what we call it, Culture Day, the Tuesday. So, yeah, still got 4 days. Just asking you to remember Sunday. Sunday is Emancipation Day, as a result of an observance of what happened in 1834, 1838 on August 1st. And like I said, quite a lot of people don't really pay much attention to that, don't even remember that, but it's significant in the lives of our people. And, one of the things when we talk about that period of our lives, our ancestors, and the abolition of slavery and so on, let's not go away thinking that the abolition of slavery came about as a result of any goodwill on the part or good-heartedness on the part of the enslavers. There are some economic realities that existed that helped that process along with the other protests and other things that happened. The enslavers realized at some point that the profits were dwindling too, so it wasn't so much that they had good hearts and wanted to abolish the slavery and the slave trade. So we got to keep that in mind. There are a lot of fighting people who fought for that. Now, it is also true when we talk about it that we enlisted and had the help of other people, because I really don't believe that our race, as we would say, was all alone in the fight. There's always there was some help from other people who realized that it was wrong on all levels. So we use this opportunity this time of year to celebrate and observe the fight put in by those who fight for the cause and for the things that our people went through. As I said, we also on this weekend, Sunday, remember those who lost their lives on Christina. And it's a good opportunity and a good time to say kudos to all the people who never fail to remember this day in our history. I can single out Captain Skeet, who always never fails to go out to the site of that disaster, the site where Christina sits today, and lay a wreath. So he continues to do that, and I'm sure he will be doing that again this Sunday, as is usual. Never forget. And so we should never forget. The people of Nevis, there was a notice already out about the service, the ceremony on Hawkins Drive, and notifying of the times and also of the fact that the protocols will be observed. We are under COVID, so things are different this time. Even for the weekend that we have coming up, it's a lot scaled back because of that. So the Culturama itself is not, as big as it would normally be, because we are in different times. So all of that is part of this weekend. Christina disaster, Culturama, and Emancipation Celebration observance. And as I said before, it looks like we are finally getting something on this side of the waters, in the way of a monument to the Christina disaster. Lots of lives were lost in that disaster, and we all should take some time to remember that as well. Let's go back to the phone. Say good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Greetings. Give thanks to the reasoning so far.
Yeah.
Okay, two things. Let us bear in mind that even though we come together, we were taken away together, we are divided in a class system, and it is economics that dictate the class system. Mm-hmm. And we have to do something about it. Our story is different to other people in the earth story. Mm-hmm. So therefore, even though class system exists here and there, we have to do something about the class system in our ways, which are dictated by economics.
What can we do?
We put the pardon?
What can we do?
Well, I level playing field. Mm-hmm. I level playing field when it comes to economics.
Okay.
I level playing field, and that will remove the class system, which is dictated by money. Mm-hmm. We just need to get it done. It just like how it was put in place. There must be a way we can get rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing is the mass grave that is at Springfield, right?
Yes.
What condition that mass grave? Do you think that mass grave is in a good condition, is well kept, and is as it ought to be? Let us ponder on that.
The answer is no, because that mass grave is now used. It has been used since.
Look at that.
Yeah, I remember the mass grave.
Yes.
And over time, they started burying other people there, using it. So,
wow.
And that is unfortunate, because the monument could have been there.
Wow.
So it's no longer just Christina disaster there. They have used that spot since.
Wow.
So that's unfortunate.
That's terrible. Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Blessed love. Give thanks at the time.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, my brother. You don't usually call twice unless it's rare or something, Now, beloved brother, you made a statement that, or other people. It was not of the goodness of their heart, beloved. They saw the writing on the wall, and they wanted to continue the economics, the profit from African people and the thing that African people was doing, planting and everything, beloved people, because them same people, Granville Sharp and the whole criminal gang, beloved, all of them, did enslave African peoples, beloved, and they wanted to live in the Caribbean and other places. So they say, all right, we come up with this scheme, and our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, we want to stay in the tropics. So they come in this flimsy thing, brother. It's not because they were genuine or anything like that, beloved. They were looking for their future in the Caribbean and other places, beloved. It's not of the goodness of the heart. The Church of England, I'm dealing with the Church of England, the Anglican Church, wicked institutions, beloved, evil institutions up to this day, and no one defaming anybody, because we all know the perverts and everything in the Anglican Church, but that's for another time, beloved. So, beloved, we must get it right and tell the truth. I'm not saying you're lying, beloved. I'm not saying, but I'm saying they had a hidden agenda and a bigger agenda, beloved. Not because they were genuine people. They was kind-hearted and want to see African people. No, beloved. They had hidden agendas, beloved. And, beloved, I heard someone in the monument, beloved. It's true that they're building a monument in St. Kitts side of the Federation for our beloved ancestors, Paris and the Christina?
Yes.
Okay, that is great, but that should have been done long time. But, you know what I mean, at least it... Well, see, brother, like you talk about the desecration of our ancestors in the mass grave. How come? Right? I'm going to show you some of our people. Look, the boy Thomas Warner, right? Look how they preserve down there, right, where he at. I don't know what the condition, what it is in now, and I'm sure it's not no dilapidated condition. You see, but when you come to our ancestors, beloved, like you said, they start building all kind of things. Well, Thomas Warner, bones down there, well protected. But then you see the hatred amongst some African people. That's why our liberation going to stay very long, beloved. And look how they glorify Warner Park. It's full time. We changed the name. Even St. Christopher and Nevis, full time. We changed all of them European names, man, and give an African name. If you don't want to name it Liamiga and Wally, give it African names and all the streets and everything as a tribute to our African ancestors, not still European. The cloaks of colonialism and white supremacy in all aspects of life, beloved. We must do that, man. Come on. Who want to say radical and by speaking the truth? That's their problem, not mine. Who want to say hate this and hate that? That's their problem, not mine. I'm an African, and I'm going to defend African people and Pan-Africanism, beloved. Come on, man. Got to stop being this, being apologetic and apologize for telling the truth. Come on, our people. Wake up. Wake up. Especially my young sisters and brothers. Wake up, young sisters and brothers. This is your time. And off them things that them elders teach you about to honor Europe and European and Elizabeth and Sigia. Come on, young people. Wake up, my beloved young sisters and brothers. Brothers, thanks again for hearing me, man, and thanks for the time. Pan-Africanism and perish. One love.
Okay, one love. All right. All right. So we say, liberate your minds. It's going to be a long time, right, before that. Back to the phones. Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Nye, it's a pleasant good morning to you. And how are you?
I am well. How are you doing?
Well, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
I just called to tell you that it seems like you're going to have to get a show for those special eggs.
A special show?
Call in there and you show. Imagine sound like special eggs.
Oh, okay.
You have a blessed day.
Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, on this special day, this special show, we are talking about mostly what happens this weekend, Christina disaster, Emancipation Day, Culture. Back to the phones. Good morning.
Hey, Tony.
Yes.
Yes, this is Jam now.
Yeah, Jam now.
Tony, I want to shout out Mr. Manners, one of the best commentators across the region, who was helping us to agitate for the Christina disaster. And really were pushing that government could recognize what's going on.
Oh, tell me what's going on down there. How are we looking down there?
It's coming together, but it needs some work to be done. Because of the pandemic, they ain't get to push and get it done.
So it's not going to be ready then?
It will be a grand finale down there.
It won't be ready for Sunday?
I think they don't got a ceremony or something, because we must do things properly going forward to these lives. Institutions and individuals. And one more thing, Tony.
Yeah.
I want to shout out to the Prime Minister that he's doing a good job, and the North Independence Square lawyer is working hard, and we need to let the tree move, because Mr. Prime Minister, you got to look like you're doing something. We don't want the tree there to stay there, and some vagabonds we have around back there feel they could go there and empty the belly around there. It's looking good. Lawyer is working hard, and let me get the escalator and move that thing and get things going properly. Because we must dialogue as one in this country.
Got you.
Have a good day, Tony.
Okay. All right, John. Now let's go. We lost that caller. Okay. All right. 465-2555. 718-577-2916 are the numbers. We may have time for a couple of more. Let's go to this one. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Hey, Tony. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Blessed Monday morning to you and your other half.
Thank you.
Tony, how can I forget the Christina disaster? Name is Noel. I worked on the Christina from 63, 64 to 67 when I left the Federation thereafter. Tony, I was in Old Sangwang on that fatal day, top of the evening, at Columbus Square when I got the news. A lot of us got the news, and there was a quick gathering in a sink. I said, no, that can't be true. Tony, I lost my mother, my mother-in-law and her son, her grandson, Rodney. Her name was Emmy Atherton, and the boy's name was Rodney Atherton or Rodney. Father one them guys from Jessup, the Tinea fisherman. Tony, it was a sad day. My first two children was by her daughter, who now lives in Texas. Tony, when I came back here after 70, I came back here in 72 from Puerto Rico, and I went up the cemetery. And I see a little grave there, like, when you do poor people thing and you make up something, yeah, and one or two a little read was on it. Tony, I know exactly where the place is, because I mark it, because it means so much to me. There was a tree not far from it, or you could say adjoin that area. I passed it several times, Tony, in vehicle. I can't walk like that no more, a person with a disability. And to find out that it was decimated. I've never seen people walking there, but I'll take your word for it that other people, it was dug up and other people was interred there. Tony, I'm going to say this, and it may not go well with some people. Labour has never, ever had empathy for that, for those people that went down on Christina, that met the fate on Christina. And the reason why I say that, pick up money, I give $10 when I was in Puerto Rico, $10 US, I couldn't afford no more. And other people throughout England, Canada, the US Virgin Islands, etc. This goes on and on. Europe and whatever, donated money up to now. The Labour government of them, now in future, the immediate past, have never given an account to those money. Because those money could have helped the children of the parents who met the fate on that fatal day. and they didn't get anything. Not even a monument to put the grandmother or the mother's name on it, Tony, to say, these are the people who perish. And our heart will always remember them.
Okay.
Tony, God bless you.
All right, and that's going to do it for today. Thank you all for your calls, and we will continue our discussions throughout the week, making it down towards the holiday weekend and all of that. So join us again tomorrow for much more right here on ZIZ, Frank and Candid. I'm Tony Nias. Enjoy the rest of your day.